Good morning, pilgrims, on day 7 of the Via de la Plata. Yes, the first week on the Camino. Today we got clear blue skies. It's not gonna rain. The rains are coming tomorrow. Had, what was it? Hot chocolate and churros for breakfast. Had a great night's sleep. Nobody was snoring, so it was good all around. Leaving the place at 8 o'clock in the morning, we got a nice day ahead with only a small climb, about 200 meters, and then overall we're descending for the rest of the day. There's a town about 5 kilometers away, where I will be having my café con leche because I had a different breakfast this morning. Cold morning, man. It is 4 degrees Celsius, which is about 48 Fahrenheit, something like that. The large group of pilgrims yesterday, they didn't make a sound. Actually, I woke up this morning at 7 and they were still asleep. I had breakfast at 7:30, and now that I'm leaving at 8 is when they're waking up. Woo! The two hospitaleros were so nice, so welcoming. We were just having breakfast and they were telling us how they did the Camino del Norte on horseback, and that there are a lot of pilgrims that do this Camino on horseback. So, that's in the future for me. I've been going over that idea for a while now. My son has been taking horse riding classes, so, it's coming. It's coming down the pipeline. All right, let's get out of town and find the Camino somewhere around here. And the morning started with a climb. I've been walking for 3 kilometers and climbing 600 meters to El Alto de San Cristobal, or at least that's according to my phone. I don't know if you can tell, but it says 600 meters. I don't know, we'll see about that. Yesterday at the monastery, I keep saying monastery, but it's more like a convento, like a convent, and it's not working anymore. It's just a private albergue. I got a share room with a German lady that's starting the Camino today, or picking up where she left off before COVID forced her to go back home. And I only paid 14 euros. So I think the only reason why I got that room is because of the group of Canadians. And now all the pilgrims that I've been talking to, they're telling me that things are filling up fast, even far ahead, which is weird. And I think it's just them. Wherever they go, they take over the area. And the first week on the Camino, man, what are my first impressions, since you guys are always asking me? I have to say that I love it. Yes, it blew my expectations away. I thought this was going to be a different animal altogether. And I love it. I love the landscape, the life, the farm life. Even the farm life is different than all the other Caminos. And there are less people. We got a couple of cyclists coming up here, and we have the town where I'm going to be having my café con leche down below, with a 14% descent. And what else can I say? I wasn't expecting to do a winter Camino, which I've always kind of wanted to do. Right now, if I were to go to the north to do the Camino Frances, I'm sure I would get to see a lot of snow, which is, it's also different. It's also been in the back of my mind for a while, but I don't know. I think from now on, it's gonna be a nice descent, walking through those open fields that I can see there in the distance. Look at all that smoke or steam coming out of that factory. It's probably steam because it's super cold. Let's have a café con leche right now, because I really need it. Probably take off this jacket because I'm starting to sweat, or maybe that was just the climb. Let's go. Surprisingly enough, the church was partially open, so I got to see the cloister there. And I also went to a bar that was right across the street. It was the only one open in town, where all the pilgrims were, getting their second breakfast, including myself. So I had a café con leche and a toast with ham and cheese. And there's nothing left after this town. So we're gonna go out into the open fields, and I have some stuff that I bought yesterday at the supermarket, of course. And the one thing that I did do was go to a bank that was open just to change some of my 100 euro bills, because nobody wants to take them. So I got 200 in 20s. Now, which way is the Camino? It's probably this way. I have been walking in the Grove fields for a while now, and as you can see, the path is turning into a river of mud, and it is expected with all the rain that has fallen, over the last few days, and the one that's coming up ahead. I'm getting the feeling that it's gonna be a wet, muddy trail for the next week or so. Look at this place. This is what I've been seeing or coming up against all morning. I've seen already about 6 pilgrims up ahead of me, which is unusual out here. And I don't know if one of them is part of the group of the Canadians, but the Canadians have turned this thing upside down with their presence. There are so many pilgrims now, or their possibility of seeing them is so high that it's shocking. When I was at the bar enjoying my cafe and my pan con jamón y queso, one of the Spaniards that I've been seeing for a while now, almost from the beginning, the guy that you always see at the beginning of the videos dressed in black ahead of me, I don't know his name yet, but he's from Oviedo, and he's done the Camino del Norte, de San Salvador, the Lebaniego Vanidiense, which I want to do that one. He was on the phone trying to make reservations because he just usually shows up and gets a bed. Well, now he was calling the town where we're heading today, Villafranca, and like the first 2 places that he called were already fully booked. So he was freaking out a little bit, which is understandable. I'm glad that I have my reservations, and I have a little bit of bad news, you might say. It's not really bad, but it's just changing my plans. I'm taking a rest day on Saturday, which is a rainy day, and then Sunday will be the last rainy day of this week, and I have a 37-kilometer day from Merida to Cañaveral or something like that. Now, it is a massive day, which I thought maybe, skip the rest day and go ahead, move forward, and do 2 days instead of 1. It would have been 2 days under the rain instead of just 1 full day under the rain. And I thought maybe that could be the plan, possibility. But as soon as I checked my notes, I realized that the hostel where I'm going to be staying in Merida, which I booked using bookings.com, it is non-refundable. Meaning I'm locked in. I had to take a day off in Merida, which is at the same time not a bad idea. By then I would have been walking by 9 days. Today is day 7, so 2 more days from now So that's what I like to do. I like to take a day off every 10 days or so. And since this trip is gonna be massive, I have to take care of myself, of course. Yeah, you know, I'll deal with that day when the time comes. Next week is gonna be hell week for me because I have like 3 days that are above the 30-kilometer mark. Starting with that one, that's 37. I have a 33 and a 35 or so. And they're almost all back to back. So it's gonna be trial by fire. By the time I finish next week, I will definitely have my trail legs and I will be running on all cylinders. So far, even the weight that I'm carrying, 30 pounds, I'm not feeling it, man. I'm not feeling it at all. It's so comfortable. Everything is so well balanced. I don't have any problems with my range of motion. Nothing gets in the way. So I'm super happy with this setup. I know for most people this is overkill, and sometimes I wish I didn't have to carry so much. When I did the Camino Frances last year, I used the luggage transfer service since I was leading a tour group and I had extra gear like massage guns and stuff like that for them, that my backpack weighed next to nothing, less than 15 pounds. Oh man, I was flying. That is the life. But at the same time, I'm not gonna complain. I'm feeling good. The sun is kicking, and it's kicking good. No complaining here. It's gonna be a love-hate relationship with the cold and the heat. And today I saw a couple of French pilgrims that speak Spanish, which is shocking to say the least. And I got to practice a little bit there, my French. Just the basics, you know, just playing around, saying the basic stuff. And right now, I can see the town up ahead. I'm almost there. It's almost 1 o'clock. So I think it's time for a little bit of French class. Getting ready for those months that I will be spending there, even though now I have more time to prepare. I have, let's see, almost 6 more months on top of the 3 that I have already done. So when I get there, 9 months will have passed since I started doing the Duolingo, and I think I'll be able to say some basic stuff. Like,
tes sœurs,
tes sœurs, your sister, tus hermanas,
les filles américaines,
les filles américaines, les filles américaines, les filles américaines, les filles américaines.
Mon père est amusant.
Mon père est amusant. Mon père est amusant. Haha, mon père est amusant. My father is funny. Mi papá es gracioso. Haha, mon frère est amusant. Oui, monsieur.
Paul est intelligent.
Paul est intelligent. Paul is smart. Paulo es inteligente. Yeah, I'm liking it. It gives me something to do out here when I'm by myself, which is the majority of the time. And been snacking at the supplies that I got from the supermarket yesterday. So I think that from now on, I'm gonna have like a good hearty breakfast, then head out and just snack away until I get to the albergue and then have a strong dinner. You know, that's what's in the back of my mind right now. That could be my strategy for those stages where there's very little in between. Instead of having to carry like a full lunch, maybe just a few snack bars and take it from there. Big town. Big town. All right, what a lunch did I just have? Wow. I'm by the main church. I actually came through town really quickly, went to the hostel where I'm staying. Hostel is actually like an apartment, and I got a massive room. I wasn't expecting that, so today it's just been, the unexpected, because I also had lunch at a Bristol, the only place in town that's really open for lunch. And I went in for the menú del día, and boy, was I taken aback by the size of the generous portions that I got. My God, I had a salad, a bacalao salad, then an entrecote, beef steak. The presentation, incredible, with a glass of red wine and sparkling water, and dessert was a tiramisu. Everything came out to be 15 euros for all that. Incredible. And right now it's 3 o'clock. I'm making my way back to my, I don't know, I have to look and see what it is. Is it a hostel? Is it a pension? It looks more like a pension because I have my own room with my own bathroom, a massive bed, and the presentation is incredible. All that for 33 euros. So yes, I'm not doing the typical albergue hopping from one town to the next. I'm staying in more private places, mixing it up a little bit. But I think the Via de la Plata, that's the way most people do it. Most of the people that do this Camino are experienced pilgrims, so they've learned a thing or two. I would also stay in a few albergues along the way. Tomorrow, let's see, in my list. Tomorrow I got a hostel, and then I get to Merida, 2 nights in the same hostel. Then Casa de la Misericordia, municipal, albergue rural, hostel, albergue, casa rural. You get the picture. This is a very large town. This is not like a tiny village in the middle of nowhere, which is taking me by surprise, because usually when you do a Camino, you kind of leave civilization in a way behind, and you're staying in tiny villages and towns. At least that's the way it goes on the Frances. And it takes about a week to go from major city to major city. But this one, there's more, what would you call it? More life. Got a park, look at these buildings. And they have this thing hanging from their balconies. They kind of seem like a dream catcher with different designs. All right. I'm so stuffed, man. In a good way. Life is good. I have just been here enjoying my private room, taking a huge nap, editing some of my videos, the 1-minute updates, and just thinking about the days ahead and everything that's coming my way. Tomorrow we start with the rainy day. Yes, the first of 4. I was also looking for like a laundromat because of course I had to do laundry all the time. And when you stay in places like this, sometimes they offer to do laundry, sometimes they don't. In this case, they don't have anything. And the closest laundromat to where I'm staying is on the opposite side of town. I did laundry yesterday, so I'm good until like tomorrow. The place where I'm staying tomorrow, I don't know. I don't think they have a laundry room in there, laundromat, or the machines. Meaning that I can't do laundry until I get to Merida. So, I'm gonna have to reuse one set of clothes. I have 3. So, I have this one, which is the one that I'm using when I'm hanging out in town. I can also use it when I'm walk with that friend. walk with a friend. If you want to support the channel and you want something back, something materialistic, you can get one of these shirts. I have the link in the description down below. What else? What else? Eating a lot of meat. Yes, I am, but I'm in the south of Spain and the food is just incredible. As soon as I go through different regions, I'll try to eat whatever is their specialty. You know, I know once I make it to Galicia, it's gonna be pulpo and seafood galore. And that's it, guys. I mean, what time is it already? It's 7 o'clock. The sun is going down. I'm here in this place next to this roundabout. I can see a yellow arrow over there. Tomorrow the path is going that way. We have a long day, 27-kilometer day, and it's gonna start raining around 10 in the morning. There's zero support. It's actually a town that if you go there and come back to the Camino, you're adding like 5 kilometers to the stage, which I don't plan to do. I have plenty of snacks in my backpack. So tomorrow I'm just gonna have breakfast. I'm gonna scope the place out and see if there's a bar around here that opens early. Maybe I'll ask the lady that runs this place so that I can get something quick and just head out, because if it's gonna start raining at 10, that means that I'm gonna get a few hours worth of rain. The biggest question is it a torrential rain or is it just a drizzle, a side drizzle as I've had before? People were just saying that it's probably gonna be windy, which is not an issue. I mean, I have my poncho, I have my umbrella, I have my face mask, which it kind of works as a buff in a way. I've been using it also for the cold. And my long sleeve shirt, you know, it has a hoodie, so I can put the hoodie on, and then the hat with the cover gives me extra protection for my ears. They get really cold. I've had Caminos where they actually start to crack. My lips are getting better already. I don't have the flu anymore, so thank you very much, of course. And I also have to thank Lucy Fitzgerald for being the trail angel of the day. Guys, without your support, I wouldn't be able to stay in places like this and do so many Caminos. And, you know, I won't even make it to Rome, of course not. So I want to thank you all for being part of the channel, for being part of this experience, you know. That's why I'm doing the short videos, so that you guys feel like you're walking with me, so you don't have to wait months at a time without me just being gone, and then, you know, eventually start pumping out the actual vlogs. What else? What else? You know, when I have a private room with my own air conditioning unit, which I have a blasting hot air right now, you know, you don't really get to interact with other pilgrims. I mean, I know that we're like a small group, but as soon as we make it to towns like this, everybody kind of goes their separate way. So I guess I'll see them all tomorrow. By the way, I just remember the lady here, she knows about the group of Canadians, because as soon as I was checking in, I was, you know, talking about it. And she said, oh, did they stay yesterday at the convent? And I said, yeah. And she goes, well, I think today is their last day. They're only doing a section of the Via de la Plata. So that's incredible news for all my other pilgrim friends. The ones that are not making reservations, now they won't have to be doing the bed, you know, run. I'm good. I'm good. I'm really good. I have all my reservations, and the only places that I don't are the ones that have municipals with a large capacity. Let's get wet tomorrow. There's no other way about it. See you tomorrow.